And we are live. I am so excited to be here today with this fantastic group of people. So for those of you who have been tuning in to these construction technology webinars, or for any new faces out there, I'm very, very pleased to host the ACE Mentor Group, as well as some of the mentors and alumni of the program, to speak with us today about what ACE Mentor is, their experience, and why it's kind of impactful for AEC industry. So without further ado, I will turn it over to Katie to kick us off with some introductions. And then I'll just go around and down my list here, and then we'll go through some intros that way. So Katie, if you could get us started.
Thanks, Erin, and thank you so much for partnering with us and hosting ACE today. We are so excited for this conversation and to share the stories. My name is Katie Bawarski, and I am an architect by trade and have the privilege of overseeing the alumni programming and support for the ACE Mentor Program of America. I've been in this role for 3 years, and prior to that, I served as the Northeast Regional Director for ACE for the last 5 years.
Right. Thanks, Katie. And if you could give just one or two sentences about ACE in general, before we go on to the next person.
Sure. So, high-level overview, the ACE Mentor Program of America is a national nonprofit. We have over 70 local affiliates throughout the United States and Canada, and our goal is to introduce high school students to the design and construction industry, exposing them to careers in the industry, and then supporting their endeavors as they enter post-secondary education and ultimately become a full-time employee of the design and construction industry.
Thank you. And I just want to plug as well. So my first interaction with ACE was basically connecting with a team here locally where I am in Southern California, and really influencing and being able to share a piece of, my world in construction and construction technology with those students who were so early on in their careers, to help see, oh, okay, this could be a potential career path for me, or construction is actually super cool. It's just I've seen some of the differences that the programming has made. So I'm especially excited for today's discussion. So next, I'll move on to Kenny to go ahead and give a brief intro.
Yeah, thanks for having me. My name is Kene Okigbo. I'm a landscape architect based in Omaha, Nebraska. I work with RDG Planning and Design in the Urban Design Studio, and really excited to be a part of this conversation.
Fantastic. Thanks, Kenny. Next, we'll go to Zaire.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm Zaire. I'm a junior at Kent State University studying construction management, and I've been involved in ACE since 10th grade, and yeah, I'm still active. Yeah.
Amazing. And then last but certainly not least, Danielle.
Thank you for having me here today. I'm Daniel Mendoza. I'm an ACE alumni. I've been a part of the program at least since my junior year of high school. I'm a freshman at the University of UTA to Texas Arlington, and my major is architecture.
Yeah, thanks, Danielle. And you were just sharing with us before we, officially went live. You're working hard already with some of your studio projects, so amazing to see it. So kicking us off, just with, ACE in general. So, and this can go for anybody who wants to jump in here, but share what ACE Mentor is all about for you, and what's been your favorite experience or part of the program so far?
I'll jump in and then
Yeah.
let the others. So I started off with ACE a few years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, as a standard mentor. And then over the last 2 years, I had the opportunity of being a lead mentor in our Omaha affiliate. What I've appreciated in the program is that everything that I learned from studio, the 5 years of school, the 9 years outside of school, I'm able to synthesize and help students get an introduction into what the architecture, construction, and engineering field is and what they might be interested in getting into. And when we were chatting a little bit earlier, Daniel had noted what he was able to pull from that experience and then translate into like helping peers. And those moments are what's really special about the program. So I would maybe push it to you, Daniel, to talk next.
To be like, I believe to be successful in the industry is to be able to communicate and understand the language between the architects, engineers, and construction managers. And that ACE is kind of like the like foundation, at least for high schoolers. I started in my junior year, and ACE, like, since my junior year, that's been like the best thing so far, as like it was the foundation of my networking. I was able to communicate with other mentors, not just my only mentor I was assigned, but other mentors, other students, people who've already graduated with their masters or bachelors, and that it was just a great way for me to like have more insider knowledge. And that's what ACE is all about, is educating your ACE students. And also as an ACE mentor, you get to learn more, about the next generation of architects. You get the new fresh ideas from the students. And that's what's really great about that's how my experience has been. Just the networking has been best so far.
Great to hear it. And as you guys are speaking, so I'm like monitoring the chat and we're getting a lot of applauses and likes and some great reactions. So love to see the engagement. And then for our audience, just note that you can also ask questions or add comments about the program, or ask anything from our panelists by commenting in the chat. So we will be able to take questions or surface anything that you might want to ask live. So please feel free to use that comment box to share anything with us today. Moving on, Zaire, anything to share about, your favorite part of the program?
I would say like my favorite part of the program is just like the family aspect of it all. I think I just along the way, like I said, I've been involved since I was in 10th grade. Just like those relationships that you like create with people. Actually just saw someone like a couple days ago that I met like in my experience or being involved with ACE, and it was like he's like my big brother. So I definitely think like the family aspect that ACE brings, it's not just like or in like an organization, it's just like it comes full circle. So I would say that's my favorite part.
I think you hit the nail on the head there, not just for ACE, but for the broader industry too. So it's funny, like I'll get asked like, okay, so what did you, bring with you the most in your professional career? And I always come back to, well, it's about relationships and the connections that you make, and being able to just relate to people who are also trying to help work together on a cool project or whatever it is that you're collaborating on. So yeah, 100%. Love it. All right.
And
So yeah, go ahead, Katie.
I was just going to chime in and,
Sure.
and kind of echo those sentiments. To date myself a little bit, I've been involved with ACE for 20 years, starting out as a sophomore in high school in upstate New York, where I grew up. And the ability to start to make your industry connections and build your professional network when you're still in high school is invaluable. And it's incredible to hear Zaire and Danielle talk about that and recognize that. And I'm still in touch with the mentors that I had in high school today. They still serve that role for me. So it truly is a family, and it's a national network. So no matter where you go, you can always lean into your local ACE network to come back to that community.
Awesome. Wow. So longevity in the power of the network as well. Amazing. So digging in a little bit deeper to your experiences. So we have you all on this panel because we'd love to hear some more about you. So I guess with going through ACE and like post ACE career, what challenges have you faced, and how has, ACE potentially helped you with getting through some challenges or hurdles that have come up? I know it's a big question. Kenny, it's you've unmuted. Want to
Yeah,
take it?
I'll jump in first. So
Yeah.
especially being one of the mentors in high school, a few years out of school, uh, when you're leaving school and all the way through the career, not saying that I don't experience this now, there is this sense of imposter syndrome of I have been in school for half a decade, but I still don't know if I really know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But your everybody has a similar starting place in the
Mm.
the industry and in your career. But what's significant about the ACE program is when you are a student in the program, that you kind of get to start a little bit ahead of where everyone else is. And when you're a mentor, even though it feels as though you may not be as far along in your career, that you don't know as much as more senior members of your practice, your team, your firm, you have you have this foundation of education that you're able to share with those that haven't started yet. So you actually do know a ton. And being a mentor in the program helped give me confidence to lead meetings, contribute in designs,
Mm.
really be a substantive contributor in the firm and in practice. And there are a lot of lessons that I learned in communication and collaboration, especially trying to coax that in those that haven't had those years of training yet, to give them a leg up when they are in their education programs, should they choose to pursue one of them. And then also, uh, it it was really helpful in stemming off imposter syndrome and gaining confidence.
Yeah,
So that was a huge piece for me.
absolutely. It's a tough industry to jump into and just kind of get your feet wet. So I can totally relate. I also want to share, Kenny, you have a shout out in the comments here from Jan. So Kenny has been a game changer for our program. Our mentors make such a difference for our participants. So good.
Thanks,
Love to
Jam.
see it. Yeah. And keep the comments and any questions coming as well into the chat. So love the engagement. Daniel, I think you were about to speak up as well. Maybe sharing a challenge that you've kind of gone through with ACE.
So a challenge through ACE is it could be, at least for me, communication. Like Kenny said, that like I'm just a freshman in college, that I wouldn't have that much knowledge in the construction process to creating a building. But however, at least ACE provided me with those skills to like put myself out there to present. We had to like present deliverables in front of hundreds of people, and at least like not to be afraid to speak our thoughts and ask questions. And Ace is very good at answering your questions and supporting your thoughts. And that through my architect firm, that I don't know everything, so I'm able to ask questions or put my ideas out there. And I think Ace really helped me with that,
Yeah,
to put myself out there. Yeah.
tell us a little bit more. So presenting your project in front of hundreds of people, expand a little bit more. Like that sounds like a cool experience for somebody super early on in
It's
the industry.
it can be very nerve-wracking experience, since you're trying to like put your idea out there and make sure, like, present basically an argument saying why your project would be the best
Mm,
decision. And I had to learn from the other mentors as well about communicating, delivering, making sure the ideas are technical and artistic, and that my project would make sure it would like connect the dots, that it would connect with not only like the senior members of the industry but also the audience as well,
yeah.
because through the project was like public, right? Your parents, friends, teachers, mentors, they were all able to view the project, so you had to be able to like make sure it connects with everyone.
Yeah.
And that was also another great thing I learned from ACE. Yeah.
Wow. I'm so impressed. I'm like, I definitely wasn't doing that sort of stuff that early on. Incredible. I also want to hear more from Zaire as well. Any specific like challenges that you've kind of gone through where the ACE experience was helpful to you?
I would say very similar to Daniel in a way. Like, when I first joined, so I was in 10th grade. I didn't know anything about
Yeah.
construction, like at all.
Yeah.
So I think, given like a brief introduction and then like a more in-depth introduction, like the deeper I got into the program before coming to Kent, it gave me like a like, I don't know what all these words are, but like I heard it
Yeah.
before and I can kind of like piece it together and stuff, and like say like, oh, I did this like with my mentor, I did this preparing for like the end of year presentation. So like I kind of am able to like piece stuff together even though I didn't like have a ton of experience.
Yeah, the vocabulary, the lingo, I feel like I'm still learning because
Yeah,
there's like new stuff coming every day.
yeah,
So having a leg up on that
all
is
the abbreviation.
super helpful, 100%. So we do have a good question here from Alex. So how does one become an ACE mentor? And maybe either Katie or Kenny, you could speak a little bit more to that.
Yeah, so at the end of the presentation, I'll share my screen and show you our website. But you can visit our website, acementor.org, and look for a local program by you. Most programs are getting ready to kick off or has already kicked off because the schedules typically follow the academic school year for the high school programs. So you can go on to our website, find your local chapter in your local city or community, and sign up as a volunteer.
All right, perfect.
And
And
if I
Kenny,
could throw
go
in
ahead. Yeah, I was just gonna call on you as well.
just a small plug that it's never too early or too late to reach out to your local affiliate. Um, Even if you think that the lift of being a mentor might be too large for a given amount of time, what I really appreciate is that, especially if you reach out and you note, I am interested in volunteering at some capacity, whether it be a one-off charrette, whether it be being invited to review the work that the students have been doing over the course of semester or a year. Each affiliate is able to be a little bit more nimble about how they take on volunteers and mentors throughout the year. But regardless, I strongly encourage going onto the website and getting connected.
And I'll ask you to expand a little bit more, Kenny. So very curious to hear. So before you got involved with ACE, like how did you hear about it? What got you curious about it? What, eventually uh made the shift from not being a mentor to being a mentor and being involved and having such a great impact?
Oh, good question. Tough question, mainly because it calls on my memory. Um, I am trying to remember what the first relationship was, but
Mhm.
it might have been, um, could have been Tom Penny, or it would have been leadership in one of the firms that we were partnering with
Mhm.
was involved with ACE. I knew about the program and knew that it was a great way of uh, giving back to like the next generation of designers, and then also facilitating a relationship and being, for lack of a better word, an example for specifically POC students that may
Mhm.
not have that type of representation in the Midwest. Um,
Yeah.
and ACE does a really good job of making it a light lift. Like I am able to show up and share what I already know. I don't have to like come up with a new curriculum for a student group. So at the very beginning, I actually felt like I couldn't be involved with ACE because I had too much going on in work in office and I wouldn't be able to find balance.
The
So,
industry keeps us all a little extra busy sometimes.
but
Yeah.
to that point, we'll always be busy. There'll always be too much.
Yeah.
So the following year, especially after I knew that I had the support of my firm, RDG, I was able to like reach out to Jan and the rest of the Omaha team through the website, and they had a really good intro uh, day where they just walked you through this is what the program is, this is what the expectations are, and made it really accessible. So after understanding that, I signed up. And then from there, it's just small yeses along the way, which helped impact the way that we used to not have a charrette as a part of our kickoff to
Hmm.
the semester, and through small yeses along the way, you impact the structure of the system to make sure that the student's experience is a lot better, uh, and it just gets easier along the way because many hands make light work.
Wow, so well said. Thanks for sharing that. So if anybody is curious about the mentor experience, now is a good time to maybe drop some questions in. We can ask Kenny and pick his brain a little bit more. I
And
want to go.
Erin,
Oh, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, can I just give a quick shout out to Kene as well, some recognition. He is one of 5 outstanding mentors, ACNR national mentors for the 2024 program year. So, I mean, incredible work that he's doing in Omaha. And as part of that award with our ACE and ENR partnership, Kenny received a student scholarship that is going to be given out in his name to a student in his local area. So, nice shout out to Kenny, and thank you for everything you do, Kenny.
Amazing. Oh my gosh. Congrats. Wow. Yeah, that is amazing. So I knew this was a good group, that just kind of reinforces, just how amazing everybody is who's part of this program. So let's see. I wanted to go next to Zaire because you've mentioned a few times, like in 10th grade, you were involved with ACE, and that is, in my mind, so special. We don't often hear about stories so early on where students are able to get involved in something that's architecture, construction, engineering related. So tell me a little bit more about how, like, your first entry point was with ACE. Like, how'd you hear about it? How'd you get into the program? Yeah, share a little bit more about that.
So to start off, I didn't know anything about construction, architecture, engineering. I was like sitting in my math class, and one of the teachers at my high school who like hosted like the local team, he came in and said, "Hey, we're just opening it up to 10th graders this year. If you guys want to get involved, we would love to have you." And like me and like my friends, we didn't know like, oh, like what is this? So we all went, and then like from there, we were just like going like every week, and then
Awesome.
eventually like I got moved to the national team. So I just kept getting involved because it was just like super fun. Loved being there. All my friends are there. We're having a great time. So
Fantastic. Yeah, I think just the connection of the program to students who are in like 10th, 11th grade, so on and so forth, that early impact is so cool. I don't remember too many programs like that when I was in high school, so amazing to see that. And then, of course, Daniel, anything from your experience, like what made you want to get involved, and how was your first entry point into ACE? Like, how did it all come to be?
How I got involved with ACE was really by chance and luck and just me seeking an opportunity as like so it's my junior year. I'm going to my career technical center, my school in
Hmm.
Arlington,
Hmm.
and that my teacher, Miss Summer, she had just a flyer on the window saying ACE
Wow.
affiliate Fort Worth, sign up. I'm just asking her. She doesn't really know that much about it either. So I just took the chance, I wanted to make sure I can better myself and get more ahead of peers as well to put myself
Hmm.
out there more. So I joined it, I liked it, and a lot of my other friends also joined it too. And I just kept going every day and it kept growing. In the first year, since I was fortunate enough to have at least friends I knew already in the program, but
Hmm.
also made other connections through other students as well. So the first year was very like and this was all like an entire new group of juniors. We were most of the people at the program because Fort Worth is junior to senior year. Sorry, most of them were juniors, so we were all trying to connect with each other, and most of the mentors too were at least they're like at least from first year to like fifth year they've been there, so we're
Hmm.
all getting used to get to know each other. But overall, it was a great year. I learned a lot, had a lot of fun, connected with a lot of mentors,
Yeah,
and that's what was really good about it.
amazing. So some similarities, just getting curious about it, being in the right place at the right time. I think especially for you, Daniel, like, oh, hey, look at this flyer, got some friends in this group, let's check it out, type of thing. And then it was just a great community. So thank you guys for sharing that. I want to expand a little bit because we do have another question in the chat. So can Zaire and Daniel share about ACE externship experiences, which it, Zaire, I see you unmuting if you want to share something.
oh yeah, so I originally got involved because I was on the local team at first, and there was like an email sent out to all of us about an externship with Gilbane, and they were just like apply and then we'll do some interviews and then we'll make a decision. And I applied and interviewed, and then I ended up being selected. And so yeah, through my through that, I got an externship with Gilbane, like after 10th grade year. So I was going into my junior year of high school.
That's
And
a big deal so early on. Wow. That's
it
a
was
huge
kind
deal.
it was kind of scary because I'm like, oh, I'm just
Yeah.
a junior, and like I'm going to talk to like the vice president or the regional, manager for this office. And yeah, I went, and then throughout that experience, I just kind of rotated in a different department head, so like scheduling, estimating, counting, and I was able to see like how it all comes together and stuff. Made some really good connections. So,
Wow. That's incredible.
And
Daniel,
Daniel, I
any,
know,
yeah, go ahead.
Daniel, I know that you've had experience with internships and summer camps or your experience as ACE. So if you want to add that into your answer, I think that'd be great to share.
So my summer camp was during my junior year. I won that through my local architect firm. I won the scholarship to go to my summer camp, and it really allowed me to connect with very other inspiring architects. Also, people who want to become engineers and also into the construction. And that was just a great way to it was just a great community, a little community we had there as we were all like, it was kind of like we were in college. Since we went to the CU Denver College of Architecture, we were all in the same dorms. And it was a great way for us to communicate, make friends. And some of these relationships are still, to this day, even though most of us are graduated. And also I got to meet other architect firms at the CU Denver College of Architecture as we had to present, as there were other, like, like Kenny said, you can just hop in, hop out, present your knowledge. Other firms were bringing their architects and engineers to see our presentation. So that was also just another great way of presenting, putting yourself out there. And I wasn't really there is an opportunity to have internships at ACE. There's like, if you're an ACE alumni, you can go to the website, and Katie can like provide those opportunities. However, I was already interning at a local architect firm my senior year. It was through my
Amazing.
CTC curriculum I got my internship. And however, even though I'm not really a part of the internship program of ACE, even since you're an ACE alumni, that itself on your resume is like a go-getter. It's like it makes you stand out, as you can still see some of these very important members in the industry. Like I've been to like ADEX networking events, TXA networking events, and you can still see these ACE members, ACE alumni, ACE mentors, and that's still a great community of networking, even though you're not in the internship program.
Amazing. Wow. Yeah, very, very impressive stories, I guess, each of you, Zaire and Daniel, with the experiences you've already had so early on. So props to you guys. So let's see. Maybe a question for Katie. Could you share a little bit more about how ACE kind of finds new mentors and mentor firms for local chapters?
Sure. So that's really a joint effort between the National Office of ACE and the local affiliates. So we have tremendous partners nationally that, in terms of kind of advice for firms, is empowering your staff to have the time and the treasure to give back to the ACE program. I think that's the biggest thing that companies can do, is empowering their young folks. Like Kenny said, it's an incredible leadership opportunity. I think it's, Tom Gilbane from Gilbane, one of our national sponsors, who said it's the best leadership training program he could have for his young professionals on his team. Really, the leadership, the professional development, the public speaking, corralling a bunch of high schoolers together. So there's, national firms and local firms. And, one of my favorite things about ACE is that we're introducing students to the entire design and construction industry, architecture, engineering, landscape, construction management, the trades. And I think it's a really unique and special example of that, the industry coming together to support the next generation. I think it's an incredible model for other industries. And so back to the question, Erin, about no matter what role you play in the integrated design and construction industry, there's a spot for you to get involved and to give back to help the next generation, and also help, fill the spots that you all have in your offices.
Fantastic. Yeah. And I think especially in construction, we harp on, oh, labor shortage this, labor shortage that. Nobody's interested in AEC, but it's not quite the case. Like there's a ton of amazing I guess programs, ACE being, one of the great ones out there that are actually driving or making everybody aware, like, hey, actually, like architecture, engineering, construction, there's a lot of really cool stuff going on. You guys might want to come check it out.
Yeah, the interest is
So
out there. It's just
yeah,
about exposure. I mean, we serve
and
nationally over 10,000 students every year. It's plus or minus 5,000 mentors that volunteer their time. They're all working professionals like Kenny
wow.
in the industry that have to balance everything. But what we're seeing with the next generation is they're so dedicated to giving back and making an impact in their community. We have nearly 10% of our mentors are alumni that are coming back to volunteer, and we're seeing that number grow every year. So I think that's a true testament to the program and to the students that participate that then want to come back and give the next generation the experience that they had in high school.
Yeah, it's a fantastic cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll move next. I want to maybe pick on Kenny a little bit to share your perspective on the general impact of the program, for your own personal like career aspirations, but also from your perspective on the industry, being a professional in the industry today.
Yeah. Uh, I'll start off and then let me know if I'm actually not answering the question.
You're good. You're good.
So, in terms of the impact of the program, I have already noted where like the magic is in hearing when students talk about what they learned in school, translating to what they are doing in university and in their programs. And especially like I didn't know what landscape architecture was when I was in high school.
Yeah.
The first time that I saw a set of building plans was in high school, but it was all architectural from the perspective of I think our high school principal like caught me in the hallway and was like, "Hey, Kenny, I know that you're in student government or student council. Do you want to like sit in on this new high school that we're building?" I had no idea what I was looking at, but I think that was
Wow.
the first time that I saw like document sets. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. This is it was like locked in the back of my brain, but I had no idea about it. Uh, if I was in ACE in high school, like walking away from your junior or senior year with legitimate content that you could build a portfolio from is complete game changer. I didn't have a portfolio until after my freshman year of college,
Hmm.
and it's just such a useful experience for those students and giving them that experience, especially like if you can somehow like design social arbitrage, like find some way where you are investing what feels like nothing. Like some weeks you are able to like take a break from work, spend an hour hanging out with a group of students, asking and answering questions as it pertains to their projects, and then you have to go back to the office. But that investment that at that moment feels really small,
Hmm.
like ends up paying out in the form of like Zaire and Daniel being in their programs, having a foundation of information and like human resources that they can come back to for the next 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Like that is like the huge magnitude of what I think the program is doing, or at least what I'm trying to
Hmm.
do through the program. Um, so I may have pivoted from the question a
No,
little bit, but
perfect.
uh,
No, that was spot on. So and so well said. So thanks for sharing that perspective, Kenny. And then Zaire and Daniel, having been in the program yourselves early on, and then kind of being alums at this point, what would you say has been like most impactful for you, or I guess where you're at today from having been in the program?
So from what Kenny said, that you get to like have a foundation of knowledge from the mentors, is that that went with me to my architect firm I'm working at right now, LBL Architects, that you learn about, submittals, RFIs, what's an OAC meeting, what is a CD, DD, SD plans are, what are sheets, what are elevations, and all that knowledge is basically going with you. And that you're not really going to get that from high school or even like starting
Yeah.
freshman year of college. Like during my freshman year of college, we're working with orthographic drawings. And yes, that is great. That's helping you develop your critical thinking and creativity as you need that to be successful. But that ACE in high school, sophomore, junior, they even have some programs, in across the nation where they start like their freshman year as well. That just having that
Oh,
knowledge
wow.
at the very start before you even go to college is just awesome, and it's great, and it's helped me so far be successful at my job.
Yeah, huge game changer. I think one of the things too that we're facing in the industry is transfer of knowledge, and a lot of the knowledge transfer is difficult to do or getting lost because it's just not one happening early enough, or there's just a huge gap in people who are willing to like sit down and share the information. So what you just shared, it's like covering both of those things, which is fantastic to hear.
If I could
So
just throw in, like,
yeah, go ahead, Kenny.
the fact that freshman year you already have a working knowledge of RFIs, submittals before a senior year pro prac class, that is wild to me. That is crazy impressive.
Yeah, I was thinking that you said it way better than what I was thinking. I'm like, wow. Amazing. Zaire, I know we've kind of covered a lot, but would love to hear your perspective as well.
I think one of the most impactful things is like um, the opportunities that you get offered or the doors you kind of get pushed in.
Yeah.
Just like I think Daniel mentioned, having like that you are involved in ACE and like still go to events, just like having that on your resume is such a huge talking point because you have so many people are like, oh my god, like ACE, like we love that. How do you get involved in that? Like, what do you do? Like, how does it help you and stuff like that? Just having that talking point, so that way you can like develop relationships and also get internships and jobs. And I think for me, I got an externship because of ACE, and then through that, I was able to like continue on with Gilbane the following summer, have like an actual internship full time. I was able to come into college with kind of like some jobs under my belt, so it kind of gave me a little bit of confidence. And then through that, like you see like your personal development as well. Like before my externship, I was like super quiet. Anybody like that saw like my presentation and then could say like, oh, she's super quiet, like and stuff. But now like I'm more outgoing and like I'm able to talk on here and like not be nervous, have like be like more conversation and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's like the experience you get, the people you meet, the personal development, I think that's like the most impactful thing for me.
Yeah, and you said it like the door opening. And I think that is so impactful because I think like reflecting back on my career, I kind of describe it as, well, I just kind of happened to the accidentally be in the industry, and I'm not really sure how I got here. So there wasn't really like a clear pathway or, hey, here's this cool opportunity, go ahead and check it out. It was kind of for me just like a few, different steps along the way, like, oh, I guess maybe this might be okay or this might work out. So having those doors opened and the networking is amazing. Yeah, it kind of streamlines that path. Um, okay, so let's see. So we've talked a lot about your experiences in the past, how all of you have kind of gotten involved in the program, but let's talk about the future a little bit. And maybe I'll pick on Katie to kick this off. But ACE, you mentioned like it's growing. The industry is obviously having a great impact from the program. And you guys are a 30-year organization. So when you think about the future, what does the next 30 years look like for you guys?
Yeah, we're really excited. It's a special year. As you mentioned, ACE is 30 this year. The program kicked off in New York City 30 years ago, 1994. And we've served over 100,000 students in this since inception. And we're really excited as we look to the future to continue to invest in our affiliates and grow the programs, because those are the folks that are on the ground serving the students. And as national, we have a role to play with continuing to help spread the word and partner with other organizations, associations that are doing similar work. A big part of what we're focused on now is alumni support, which is the work that I oversee. And this is helping alumni, as Daniel mentioned, getting connected with internships. Scholarships is a huge part of what we do. We just had our data come in yesterday, actually, and in the last school year, 23-24, we awarded over $4.5 million of scholarships to students and alumni, and that gives us a total of
Wow.
just about 37 million since inception.
Say that
So
one more time, Katie. I'm wrapping my head around the stat there.
yeah,
What was that
so
one more time?
last year between the national organization and our local affiliates,
Mhm.
$4.6 million in scholarships was awarded to students and alumni of the ACE program.
Wow.
And since
Wow.
inception, it's nearly 40 million, about
Yeah.
$37 million in history. And when we survey our students and alumni every year, and they want support with internships, they need support with scholarships, and then that continued mentoring, which is a big piece of what we're working on now as we look to the future. What supports can we build out to help empower the students from when they graduate from high school and ultimately enter the workforce? These, college programs are not easy, as Daniel's starting to learn, and Zaire has some experience now in her junior year. So, lining up our alumni with a mentor that can help support them throughout their post-secondary education. That's a transformative partner program that we've kicked off in the last 2 years, partnering with student associations, making sure the students have the networking, they're getting connected with other ACE alumni on college campuses, able to attend professional development opportunities and webinars. So as we look to the future, a lot of the support that was kind of happening informally, I would say, between the high school graduation and entering the workforce is where ACE is really invested into to make sure our students are successful in achieving their dreams and coming into our industry.
Amazing. And I'll point out here as well, there are some fantastic, fantastic comments coming in, just essentially saying all the great things and sharing different experiences about like how amazing the program has been for other people. So I won't read all of them off. There are some paragraphs here, but we'll encourage anybody tuning in, go check out some of those comments, or if you're watching this later on, feel free to check those out as well. So a lot of good stuff going on here. So let's see. So I want to go next to Kenny. So what advice would you give to other industry leaders, so professionals in their careers like you, or people who are kind of deciding like, hey, what programs should I try to get my company involved with? What's kind of worthwhile? Or just people who are regular old professionals, kind of working together to build things. What would you advise them?
Yeah, I would probably go back to mission. Look, whether it be internal to the individual or at your organization, and revisit what your mission and vision are for, like, what do you believe in? What do you want to support? And then maybe do a quick analysis of, are we being true and authentic to what that mission is? When I was leaving school, I informally crafted like a personal ethos statement of, do capital G good work with capital G good people.
Hmm.
And I feel fortunate that I've been able to find a place that supports that personal ethos statement, and that my ethos aligns with like our firm mission of create meaning together. And one of the ways that I feel as though I'm able to do meaningful work and expand what together means is with the expansive ACE community, both at the national level and also specifically our local affiliate. And I some years I take a bigger bite out of what my contribution to the team is, and some years that bite is a little bit smaller. But each time that we're able to do something meaningful and create these scenarios that students are able to walk away from being more knowledgeable, better prepared to contribute to the design ecosystem, better prepared to walk into a collegiate program knowing either they want to pursue a career in the architecture, construction, engineering space, or that they will make a better client or partner in the future because they have a set of expectations for what that ecosystem should be. I I feel empowered by that. And going back to the
Yeah.
question, I'd encourage those that are listening in, those that are part of a team that says that they want to help the world be better and do better. Um, this might be a low barrier to entry for you to do that, and check out that website.
All right. Thanks, Kenny. Again, so well said. I'm like, I need to take notes from you. You're so eloquent with like conveying the concepts. So yeah, fantastic. And then let's see. So I'm curious to know, we don't often have the student perspective, and Zaire and Danielle, so grateful to have both of you on here today. So first with Zaire, like what are you most excited for in the industry and looking forward to?
I would say in the industry just to see um, different building materials and how the technology like evolves. I think one of my professors right now, he's really into mass timber, and he's like he showed us that, and he's like writing a book on that, and also going to like meetings for that. Just seeing how that evolves in different technology as well, and seeing like how different programs like ACE like help push
Mhm.
the industry as well.
I could talk the technology talk all day, which we're maybe getting a little close to time, so I'll maybe shelve some of the technology stuff for now. But I too am thrilled to kind of see what's been happening in the tech space and with some of the means and methods evolution in the industry. So I'm right with you there. And then Daniel, kind of same question. So, from the student perspective, what are you most excited for in the industry?
I'm excited most for the industry is like the evolution of the industry itself. As we're gonna have new breakthroughs with technology, as more and more firms are like moving into like the technological side with Revit or Lumion or Rhino
Mm,
or AutoCAD. That we're gonna have to more students are gonna have to be able to have skills through those programs to be able to do their job, and as well as just evolving the industry, as because the next generation is bringing more ideas and more thoughts and new ways to
right.
to do architecture, to solve a problem through engineering, and to how to have better organization through construction. And that and we're just like forever evolving, really, as just like a history lesson, like through my intro into architecture, that like the architects that who made like buildings, like they represent political views, or they represent like ideas that are combating like grand monumental constructions, that is just going to keep evolving overall.
Hmm.
Like you have Robert Venturi, he made like a house look like a house, but it's different, it's complex, it's like against the norm. And or you have like Louis Kahn, who made his like prairie type house that's against the norm, and it's just gonna keep evolving with the next generation. That's what ACE is really providing, the next
Wow.
generation of critical thinkers. And that these critical thinkers are going to be able to, like, they're coming into the industry from ACE, they have the traits, they have the knowledge, they have the desire, the determination to teach also the next generation. So that's what I'm very excited for the industry.
Wow, so much passion right there. I You've made me excited too. So, absolutely the evolution of, the next iteration, if you will, of what the industry looks like in the future is is going to be incredible based on the way that you've painted the picture there. So thanks, Daniel. So at this point, we have maybe about 10 minutes left or so. I want to give us enough time to wrap up. So, Katie, I'll go to you next. I know you have some content that you'd like to share with everybody here today. And I'll kick it off by saying, for our audience members who are tuning in or anybody else who's watching this later on and they're saying, like, hey, how do I get involved with all this amazing stuff that's happening? How do I connect with ACE? What can they do? Where should they go? What's some more information about it?
Yeah, great question. As I mentioned at the beginning, we are kicking off the 24-25 program year now. So it's a great time to reach out to your local affiliate to get involved as a mentor. And one of the best things about ACE is there's so many different opportunities for getting involved. If mentoring is not for you, you could possibly serve as a board member on your local affiliate, maybe join a committee, help review scholarship applications, maybe help save some spots for ACE students in an externship or internship program. So the opportunities are really endless. So as Kenny mentioned, just have that reach out, have that initial conversation and see how you could best plug in to the program. I will share my screen here and just give a quick overview of our website here, where I would encourage anyone who's interested in to check it out. Is everything looking good on your end, Erin?
Fantastic. Yeah.
Okay. So this is our program, acementor.org. Check it out. This is the homepage. And what I would encourage everyone to do who's not already involved and interested is check out if there's a program near you. We're in most major metropolitan areas and beyond, even have some new spots up in Canada. So you can click on our affiliate map and get in touch with your local affiliate, learn more about their programming. And as I said, most of them are kicking off right now. Also wanted to quickly plug, this is hot off the press. As I mentioned, as part of the Outstanding Mentor Program, we have a partnership with ENR, Engineering News Record, and they publish a yearbook for us every year. And this was just released yesterday, so literally very hot off the press. But if you're looking to learn more and hear some more of the incredible stories similar to Zaire, Daniel's, and Kenny's who were shared today, check out our social media. We're sharing it on there today to really learn more about what ACE is all about. And finally, in partnership with Construction Inclusion Week, which is next month, we are doing our annual ACE Mentor Day of Action. And this is a social media campaign where you can check out, nationally and locally what the programming is all about, how you can get involved. So that's coming up October 18th. So what I would suggest is, following ACE National, ACE Mentor Program of America on social media, and then trying to plug into your local affiliate on their social media. You can find all of their handles on the website, on the affiliate map that I just shared. But we really invite you and welcome new faces to join our community. So again, at ACE Mentor, acementor.org, please reach out and get involved. We would love to have you.
All right. Fantastic. And I'll share one of the comments here saying, thank you for starting the scholarships for ACE students who are looking to pursue a career in the skilled trades. So a little bit of a shout out there. There's another comment here that is also stressing how the ACE program opens pathways to receive training, experience, and wisdom debt-free. So there's a huge ROI, and these are just, comments that are coming in from the chat. So thank you everybody for sharing. We're in the last few minutes or so. So if anybody in the audience has a last question for our panelists, now is the perfect time to do so. Otherwise, so I'll hold on for just another minute or two here to see if we get any last questions or comments. But while we're holding for that, I do want to say thank you very, very much to Katie, the ACE Mentor team, for collaborating on this event and also pulling in the fantastic panelists, so Zaire, Daniel, Kenny, to participate. You guys are absolutely fantastic. I am so so impressed, like genuinely, with how much students have a grasp of the industry. You guys already have a working vocabulary. I know I definitely didn't have any of that when I started out. So yeah, thank you so, so much for participating. Kene, for also sharing your thoughts so well about your experience and involvement as a mentor. Um, and yeah, all right. So I don't see any last questions or comments. Just all fantastic things. Shout out again to Zaire and Daniel for being great role models for the program. So yeah, so with that, I think we can end the webinar here for today. So thank you again for the whole team, for our audience as well for tuning in. We appreciate everybody's participation, and the date again is October 18th for ACE. Remind me, what's the name of the day?
ACE Day of Action,
ACE
October 18th,
Okay.
last day of Construction Inclusion Week.
Perfect. Thank you. So mark your calendar, make a note. Fantastic program to get involved with. All right. So with that, we'll sign off for today. So thank you all for joining.
Erin, thank you.
All right.
Thanks so much, everybody.
Have a good one.